Hello and welcome to the channel How We Move the Decimal. In today's video I am photographing vintage 35mm slides. I'm using a tracing board I got on Amazon and just a normal DSLR camera, and it's kind of old at this point. I think it's about 5 years old. Nothing expensive, no crazy equipment or anything. It's all about getting it photographed, getting it listed, and getting it sold. So what to talk about today. As I'm recording this is the beginning of February and it's tax season. All of our W-2s and stuff have come in. I need to do the bookkeeping for the eBay, which is almost done. I just need to enter my auction items in, but I'm also doing better this year in keeping track monthly of my sales. So I'm going to do my January numbers too. I want to talk about a little bit deductions because that is the name of the game. Normally, I don't sell enough to really worry about deductions. However, we kind of went professional this January for us and sold quite a lot more. So I need to be very mindful of what my deductions are. I'm keeping track of my mileage going back and forth from the post office now. That's a lot of money. I am also keeping track of like small things you buy for eBay that you don't really know you buy. I just bought a box resizer on Amazon. I have not received it yet, but that will be a deduction. I am using that for my eBay sales. I am deducting, packing supplies and all of that already. I am not very good at deducting where our storage area is, even though I have been told by several different people that I can deduct like storage areas and home offices for that. And since I don't have a standalone home office, that's very hard, but I do have a standalone storage area for my eBay, which is slightly easier to deduct from than, saying my dining room table every other weekend. And that's kind of the name of the game when it comes to this. If you don't have a specific area to do your work and your work is more transitory, like my car during pickup line, stuff like that, I can't really deduct. So I have to be aware of that. You can deduct, if you go out to business dinners or when we go to the bins and we have to stay the night because it's so far away, I know I can deduct that stuff. I haven't did any of that this year. We were very low key on our sourcing. However, I will say we did source a lot this January from auctions, and we've probably had some of the best sales this January. And I don't know if it correlates or we're just getting lucky. January and February are still pretty decent months for us when it comes to selling things. I don't do well in November and December. Fourth quarter is not, I'm not like, yay, fourth quarter. I'm more like, yay, first quarter. Summer slows down a lot for me, except for the end of July and August because of back to school stuff, especially with my clothing, will sell quite nicely during that time. But really my best time, historically, our best months are January and February through the whole year. So I'm trying to set the tone. We have been listing a lot. My husband has been listing a lot. He's super happy that we're doing hard goods. I usually don't list the hard goods. He does. I will list soft goods like bed sheets, clothing, craft supplies. I do list just because I have slightly more knowledge in that. So it's quicker for me to list. So like cross stitch supplies and stuff, I will list that. I don't have a lot of craft supplies right now, but it is also the time to sell craft supplies. When people are making crafts for people for like Christmas, it's particularly like knitting, sewing, cross stitching, quilting, all of that, they will start the January before. So this is a great time to sell that type of stuff. I have a lot of watchers on a lot of my needles, craft supplies, and fabrics and stuff, which I'm not surprised by this time of year, and I'm okay with that. In the summer too, right before summer starts, I'll sell a lot. So I'm guessing people are going to be like on vacation and they might want something, or home from work for the summer, or the kids are home from school and they want to do crafts. That tends to be a pretty decent time. So January and May, I tend to do quite decently with craft supplies. Pre-holidays, I do very well with like vintage sheets and stuff. So people are getting their houses ready for visitors. Vintage tablecloths, vintage sheets do well during that time versus, in January, it's not going to do well. However, there are exceptions. I sold mugs, Christmas mugs in January, but a lot of times that they had that set already and something broke and they're replacing that. And I've done it before myself. If I don't replace it right when it's broken, I'll forget about it. And then next year I'll open it and I need it and it's broken. So I understand them buying Christmas stuff right after Christmas because you buy it so you can put it away with all the other stuff or it'll get lost. So I do that. I don't sell a lot of toys, and the toys I do sell tend to be niche or vintage. I'm not going to like Ross and buying toys off the shelf for that. I'm not going on the clearances at Walmart and Target. One, by the time I know it's happening, they've already sold to resellers. Two, I'm not that competitive. I've seen the people walk out with carts and carts and carts of toys. I will say I got really lucky last Christmas because they had electric scooters clearance to $50 that were normally $500 at Walmart, and we bought them for the kids. The kids could care less. My husband and I love them, especially if you're like avid campers and stuff. 100% would recommend electric scooters. They are so fun to tool around on the campgrounds with, so like really recommend those. But I didn't go there for the sole purpose to buy those things. So I'm like, I bought the box cutter. I need to keep track of that. I need to keep track of the bubble wrap I'm using. I need to keep track of the boxes I'm using. Since we are shipping more hard goods, we are using a lot more shipping supplies. Usually when I'm doing clothes and stuff, they're going in a padded flat rate, which is free from the Postal Service, or they're going in a poly mailer, and poly mailers are really cheap. But I got a package from a buyer or from a seller. The more you buy on eBay, the more you sell on eBay. I don't know if that's a real thing, but we found the more we buy stuff on eBay that we need, like don't buy things you don't need, but like we bought something we needed on eBay for my son. He needed a cord for a Nintendo DS that we'd got at the bins, but didn't have a cord. So I bought a cord, and they used instead of using bubble wrap, they wrapped it in a padded flat rate and sent it first class in a first class poly mailer. Don't do that. That's actually misuse of U.S. Postal Service supplies. And if you read the fine print, you cannot use them in that way. You can only use them for the way that they are intended. So a padded flat rate can only be used as an envelope in and of itself. That being said, I have used eBay branded envelopes for bubble wrap before when I needed it and we didn't have any bubble wrap. I did have padded envelopes that were from eBay that I purchased. And, you can do that. That's fine. It's the flat rate envelopes from the U.S. Postal Service you cannot do that with. That is a misappropriation of shipping supplies. And what made me angry, I'm not like the moral shipping police here, but what made me angry is, this isn't the only seller that does this. And the more sellers that do this, the less likely we're going to have access to free shipping supplies in the future. And I use those padded flat rates all the time. They fit men's jeans up to very large sizes, and I can ship them for, it might cost me like $17, $18. For $8, I can ship in a padded flat rate. I use it a lot. We shipped, oh, bless their hearts, we shipped a 10-pound shot put in a padded flat rate. So that had to suck for somebody. Not me. Like, we felt super bad about it. Like, ugh, sorry to the Postal Service, but you can put up to 70 pounds in it. Cast iron banks I'll put in there, and they're a good 4 or 5 pounds. Things like that, though, padded flat rates work very well for small, heavy items. I'm not as lucky with the larger flat rates because I can usually get it for a cheaper price just shipping by weight and not using the larger flat rate boxes. but that's the same thing. Those boxes are not meant for you to put inside another box. They're not meant for you to use as your storage methods on your shelves. I've seen eBayers have USPS flat rate boxes to store their items in on their YouTube channels, on their shelving units. Be like, oh, let me pull them out of box A, and it's a flat rate box in the USPS. That is not what it is used for. And the more people that take advantage of it, unfortunately, the more likely we are not to have access to that, especially when the USPS starts struggling more. So don't do that. Don't do that. Thank you for watching my channel. Please like and subscribe, and please stay for the digital renditions of the photos.
I know you told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. And guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away, as you fade away.
Yeah, I'm about to fade away, cause every time I wake up I feel like it's Monday. Something's going wrong with all the chemicals up in my brain. All of a sudden I don't look at anything the same way. Gotta build up of my thoughts sitting in an ashtray. I'm sorry that I'm so inconvenient, okay. Just let me be me and I'll stay out of your way. I can see the way you look at me, I'm such a disgrace. I never really asked to be brought into this place. You wanna love me? Well then baby have a taste. All the highs and the lows, no you'll never be the same. I don't really wanna hurt you but I can't control the pain. If you're sticking by my side maybe we could be okay. Okay, maybe you could be the change I need today. I promise that I've never felt this way. I really hope that you will choose to stay through all the pain.
I know you told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. And guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away.